Have you ever felt like there's something more to life, something just beyond your reach? Well, you're right, there is. And the amazing thing is, it's been inside you all along. We're talking about your inner wisdom, a powerful tool that can completely change your life. The best part, you don't need any fancy gadgets or complicated techniques to tap into it. It's all about getting to know yourself better and learning to trust your gut feelings. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but what's the catch? Here's the thing. If we don't learn to listen to this inner voice, we might keep making choices that just don't feel right for us. It's like trying to navigate a ship without a compass. You might end up going in circles or crashing into rocks. To really grow and find our true path, we need to face our fears and doubts. It's not always easy, but trust me, it's so worth it. Think about it this way. Have you ever made a decision that looked good on paper, but deep down something felt off? Maybe you took a job because it paid well, but every day felt like a struggle. Or you stayed in a relationship because it seemed perfect from the outside, but inside you felt lonely. That's what happens when we ignore our inner wisdom. We end up living someone else's idea of a good life, not our own. But here's the exciting part. When you start to tap into your inner wisdom, amazing things happen. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see things clearly. You start making choices that truly align with who you are. And bit by bit, your life transforms into something that feels right, something that fills you with energy and purpose. So how do we access this inner wisdom? It all starts with two powerful tools, mindfulness and intuition. Now don't worry if these words sound a bit mystical or complicated. They're actually pretty simple ideas that we can all understand and use. Let's start with mindfulness. Imagine you're watching a busy street from a calm, quiet balcony. You can see all the cars and people rushing about, but you're not caught up in the hustle and bustle. That's what mindfulness is like for your thoughts and feelings. It's about being a friendly observer of what's going on in your mind without getting swept away by it. Intuition, on the other hand, is that gut feeling you get about things. You know those times when you just knew something was right or wrong, even if you couldn't explain why. That's your intuition talking. It's like having a wise friend inside your head, always ready to give you advice. When you put mindfulness and intuition together, they become like a compass for your inner world. They help you navigate through life's challenges and opportunities. For example, let's say you're trying to make a big decision like whether to move to a new city. Being mindful helps you notice your true feelings about the idea. Are you excited, nervous, both? Your intuition might give you that inner nudge, telling you whether this move feels right for you or not. The beauty of this inner compass is that it's uniquely yours. It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks you should do. Your inner wisdom knows what's best for you. And the more you practice listening to it, the stronger and clearer it becomes. Now that we understand what mindfulness and intuition are, let's talk about how to develop them. Think of it like growing a garden. You can't just plant seeds and expect a lush garden overnight. It takes time, patience, and consistent care. But with each day, your garden, or in this case, your inner wisdom, grows stronger and more beautiful. The first step is to create some quiet time for yourself each day. I know. In our busy world, finding even 5 minutes can seem impossible, but trust me, it's crucial. This is your time to check in with yourself, to listen to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. You don't need a special meditation room or fancy equipment. Just find a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed. Start by focusing on your breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. When thoughts come up, and they will, that's okay. Just notice them and let them float by like clouds in the sky. This simple practice is the foundation of mindfulness. It helps you create a little space between you and your thoughts so you're not constantly swept away by them. Another powerful tool is keeping a journal. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you spot patterns you might not have noticed before. Maybe you'll realize that you always feel energized after spending time in nature, or that certain situations consistently drain your energy. These insights are gold. They're your inner wisdom speaking to you. As you practice mindfulness and start to recognize your intuition, you'll likely face some challenges. There might be days when it feels easy and natural, and other days when you feel lost or doubtful. This is totally normal. Remember, you're developing a new skill. Just like learning to play an instrument or speak a new language, it takes time and practice. One common obstacle is the voice of our inner critic. You know, that part of us that's always ready with a negative comment or doubt. "You're not doing this right," it might say, or "This is a waste of time." When you hear this voice, try to approach it with kindness. Thank it for trying to protect you, but let it know that you're safe to explore your inner world. Another challenge you might face is impatience. In our fast-paced world, we're used to instant results. But developing mindfulness and intuition is more like slow cooking than microwaving. It takes time for the flavors to develop, so be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories, like noticing when you're getting stressed before it becomes overwhelming, or trusting your gut on a small decision that turns out well. As you continue on this journey, you'll start to notice changes. Maybe you'll find yourself feeling calmer in situations that used to stress you out, or you might start making decisions with more confidence, trusting that inner voice. You might even find that your relationships improve as you become more in tune with your own needs and feelings. Remember, this journey is uniquely yours. There's no one right way to develop mindfulness and intuition. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. The key is to keep exploring, keep practicing, and most importantly, to be kind to yourself along the way. Think of it like learning to dance. At first, you might feel awkward and self-conscious, but as you practice, the movements start to feel more natural. You begin to hear the subtle nuances in the music, and eventually you're not just following steps, you're expressing yourself through the dance. That's what developing your inner wisdom is like. It's a beautiful dance between your conscious mind and your deeper intuition. As you continue this inner exploration, you'll likely start to see the world differently. Things that used to bother you might not seem so important anymore. You might find yourself drawn to new interests or activities that resonate with your true self. This is all part of the journey. As you get to know yourself better, your outer life naturally starts to align with your inner truth. One powerful way to deepen your practice is to bring mindfulness into your everyday activities. When you're eating, really taste your food. Notice the flavors, the textures, the temperature. When you're walking, feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin. When you're talking with someone, really listen to what they're saying without planning your response. These simple acts of presence can transform ordinary moments into rich experiences. As your mindfulness grows, you'll start to notice the subtle signals of your intuition more clearly. It might come as a feeling in your gut, a sudden thought, or even a physical sensation like goosebumps. Pay attention to these signals, especially when you're facing a decision or a new situation. Your intuition often knows what's right for you before your logical mind has figured it out. Of course, this doesn't mean you should ignore logic or facts. Your inner wisdom works best when it's in harmony with your rational thinking. Think of it like having two trusted advisors, your intuition and your logical mind. When they're working together, you have a powerful team guiding your decisions. As you develop this inner guidance system, you might find that some of your old beliefs or habits no longer fit. Maybe you'll realize that a goal you've been pursuing isn't really what you want. Or perhaps you'll discover a talent or passion you never knew you had. This is all part of the process. Your inner wisdom is helping you align with your true self, even if that means letting go of some old ideas about who you thought you were. This journey of self-discovery can be both exciting and challenging. There might be times when you feel like you're making great progress, and other times when you feel stuck or unsure. Remember, this is normal. Growth isn't always linear. Sometimes we need to take a step back to gain a new perspective before moving forward again. One helpful practice is to regularly check in with yourself. Ask questions like, how am I feeling right now? What do I need in this moment? Is this decision or action aligned with my true self? These simple questions can help you stay connected to your inner wisdom throughout the day. As you continue to nurture your mindfulness and intuition, you'll likely find that your relationship with yourself improves. You might become more patient with your own flaws and mistakes. You might find it easier to set boundaries and say no to things that don't serve you. And you might discover a deep sense of self-trust that helps you navigate life's challenges with more ease and grace. Remember, developing your inner wisdom is a lifelong journey. There's always more to discover about yourself and the world around you. Each day brings new opportunities to practice mindfulness, to listen to your intuition, and to align your actions with your true self. As you move forward on this path, you might find that your definition of success changes. Instead of chasing external markers of achievement, you might start to value inner peace, authentic relationships, and a sense of purpose more highly. This shift can bring a profound sense of fulfillment and contentment. One beautiful aspect of developing your inner wisdom is that it not only benefits you, but it can also positively impact those around you. As you become more centered and true to yourself, you naturally become a more authentic, present, and compassionate person. Your relationships may deepen, and you might find yourself inspiring others to embark on their own journey of self-discovery. Remember, there's no rush and no finish line in this process. Each step you take in developing your mindfulness and intuition is valuable. Every moment of awareness, every intuitive insight, every decision made from a place of inner alignment, these are all victories to be celebrated. As you continue to navigate your inner landscape, you'll likely encounter both sunny meadows and challenging terrain. There might be days when you feel deeply connected to your inner wisdom, and other days when you feel lost or doubtful. This is all part of the journey. The key is to approach all of it, the easy parts and the difficult parts, with curiosity and compassion. One helpful practice is to start your day with a few moments of mindfulness. Before you get caught up in the busyness of the day, take a few deep breaths and check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need today? This simple act can help set a tone of awareness and self-connection for the rest of your day. Throughout your day, look for opportunities to tune into your intuition. When you're faced with a decision, big or small, take a moment to quiet your mind and listen to your inner voice. What feels right? What aligns with your values and true self? The more you practice this, the more natural it will become. Remember, developing your inner wisdom isn't about achieving perfection. It's about becoming more aware, more authentic, and more aligned with your true self. It's about learning to trust yourself and to live from a place of inner guidance rather than external pressures. As you continue on this journey, you might find that your perception of time changes. When you're fully present in the moment, time seems to expand. You might find more joy in simple activities, more depth in your relationships, and more meaning in your daily life. One of the beautiful things about developing your inner wisdom is that it's a renewable resource. Unlike material possessions or external achievements, your mindfulness and intuition can continue to grow and deepen throughout your life. The more you nurture them, the stronger they become. As you become more attuned to your inner wisdom, you might start to notice synchronicities in your life, meaningful coincidences that seem to guide you or confirm you're on the right path. Pay attention to these. They can be like signposts on your journey, encouraging you to trust your intuition and keep moving forward. Remember, every step you take in developing your mindfulness and intuition is valuable. Even on days when it feels like you're not making progress, you're still building the muscle of awareness. Every time you pause to take a breath, every time you listen to your gut feeling, you're strengthening your connection to your inner wisdom. 4 keys to developing mindfulness and intuition. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive into 4 key principles that can help you develop your mindfulness and intuition. Think of points guiding you on your inner journey. Your thoughts and feelings are like messages from your inner self. They're constantly trying to tell you something important. But here's the trick. You're not your thoughts. You're the one watching them. This might sound a bit strange at first, but it's a powerful idea. Imagine you're sitting by a river watching leaves float by. The leaves are like your thoughts and feelings. They come, they go. Some might catch your attention more than others, But you're not the leaves, you're the watcher on the bank. This is what mindfulness is all about. When you start to see your thoughts this way, something amazing happens. You realize you have a choice. You can choose which thoughts to engage with and which ones to let float by. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending negative thoughts don't exist. It's about observing them without getting caught up in them. For example, let's say you have a thought like, "I'm not good enough." Instead of believing it right away, you can notice it. Oh, there's that "not good enough" thought again. You're not pushing it away, but you're not letting it define you either. This little bit of space between you and your thoughts can make a huge difference. As you practice this, you'll start to recognize patterns in your thinking. Maybe you'll notice that you tend to have more negative thoughts when you're tired or hungry, or perhaps you'll see that certain situations always trigger particular thoughts. This awareness is incredibly valuable. It's like shining a light on the workings of your mind. Your inner voice isn't just about thoughts, though. It's also about feelings and physical sensations. Maybe you notice that your stomach tightens when you're about to do something that doesn't feel right for you. Or perhaps you feel a surge of energy when you think about a particular goal. These physical cues are part of your inner wisdom too. The key is to approach all of this, your thoughts, feelings, and sensations, with curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of labeling things as good or bad, try to observe them with interest. That's interesting. I wonder why I'm feeling this way. This curious attitude can lead to profound insights about yourself. Remember, understanding your inner voice is a skill that develops over time. Some days, it might feel clear and easy to interpret. Other days, it might feel confusing or contradictory. That's okay. The important thing is to keep listening, keep observing. Over time, you'll get better at distinguishing between the chatter of your mind and the true wisdom of your inner voice. When it comes to developing mindfulness and intuition, patience isn't just helpful, it's essential. In our fast-paced world, we're used to instant results. We can order something online and have it delivered the same day. We can send a message and expect an immediate reply, but inner growth doesn't work that way. It's more like planting a garden than ordering takeout. Think about it this way. If you plant a seed, you can't expect to see a full-grown plant the next day. It takes time for the seed to sprout, for the seedling to grow, for the plant to mature. And during much of this time, all the growth is happening underground where you can't see it. Developing your inner wisdom is very similar. You might practice mindfulness every day for weeks and feel like nothing is changing. But beneath the surface, important shifts are happening. Your brain is creating new pathways. Your awareness is expanding. Your intuition is strengthening. Just because you can't see dramatic changes doesn't mean they're not happening. This is where trust comes in. You need to trust the process, even when it feels slow or uncertain. Trust that each time you pause to take a breath, each time you notice a thought without getting caught up in it, you're nurturing your inner wisdom. It's like watering your garden. You might not see results immediately, but you're creating the conditions for growth. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Some days your mind might feel calm and clear. Other days, it might feel like a storm of thoughts and emotions. This is normal. The goal isn't to have a perfectly quiet mind all the time. The goal is to be aware, to be present regardless of what's happening in your mind. Remember, everyone's journey is different. You might hear stories of people having dramatic breakthroughs or life-changing realizations. While these can happen, for most people, the growth is gradual. It's about small shifts that add up over time. Maybe you start to notice that you're less reactive in stressful situations. Or perhaps you find yourself making decisions with more ease and confidence. These might seem like small things, but they're signs of real lasting change. Patience also means being kind to yourself when you slip up. Maybe you snap at someone in anger, even though you've been working on staying calm. Or perhaps you ignore your intuition and make a decision you later regret. It's easy to get frustrated in these moments, to feel like you're not making progress. But remember, these are all part of the learning process. Each mistake is an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to observe your reactions without judgment. As you continue on this journey, You might find that your relationship with time itself changes. When you're fully present in the moment, time seems to expand. You might find more richness in simple experiences, more depth in your relationships. This shift in perception is one of the beautiful gifts of developing mindfulness and intuition. So be patient with yourself and with the process. Trust that each step you take, no matter how small it seems, is moving you forward. Your inner wisdom is like a deep well. The more patiently and consistently you draw from it, the more abundantly it flows. Here's a powerful secret. What you focus on grows. It's like sunlight for your mind. Whatever you shine your attention on will flourish. So, if you want to develop your inner wisdom and create a more positive life, it's crucial to focus on the good stuff. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about training your mind to notice and appreciate the positive aspects of your life, even when things are challenging. This shift in focus can have a profound impact on your mindfulness practice and your overall well-being. Let's start with a simple exercise. Right now, take a moment to think of 3 good things in your life. They don't have to be big things. Maybe it's the warm cup of coffee you had this morning, or the smile from a stranger on the street, or the comfortable chair you're sitting in. Just 3 good things. How do you feel after thinking about these positive aspects of your life? If you're like most people, you probably feel a little bit better. Maybe you notice a slight lift in your mood or a sense of gratitude. This is the power of focusing on the good stuff. When you make this a regular practice, you start to rewire your brain to notice more positive things in your life. This doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts or feelings. Those are part of being human. But by consciously choosing to focus on the positive, you create a kind of balance. You're less likely to get swept away by negative thinking patterns. Here's how this relates to developing your inner wisdom. When you focus on the positive aspects of your life, you create a more receptive state for intuition and mindfulness. It's like tuning a radio to a clear station instead of static. You're more likely to hear the quiet voice of your intuition when your mind isn't cluttered with worry and negativity. One powerful way to practice this is through gratitude. Each day, try to notice and appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your face, or the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of a loved one's laugh. By focusing on these positive experiences, you're training your mind to notice more of them. This practice can be especially powerful when you're facing challenges. Let's say you're having a tough day at work. Everything seems to be going wrong. In these moments, it's easy to get caught up in frustration and negativity. But what if you could pause and find something good, even in this difficult situation? Maybe you learn something new from the challenge. Maybe a colleague offers unexpected help. By finding these glimmers of positivity, you shift your energy and open yourself up to more constructive solutions. Remember, focusing on the good stuff doesn't mean ignoring problems or avoiding difficult emotions. It's about creating a balanced perspective. When you cultivate a habit of noticing the positive, you become more resilient in the face of challenges. You're better able to access your inner wisdom and intuition, even in tough times. As you practice this, you might notice that you start attracting more positive experiences into your life. This isn't magic. It's simply that you're more attuned to noticing and appreciating the good things when they happen. It's like learning a new language. At first, you might only catch a few words here and there, but as you practice, you start to understand more and more. Focusing on the good stuff also helps you stay present in the moment, which is key to mindfulness. When you're appreciating something positive right now, you're not worrying about the future or regretting the past. You're fully engaged in the present moment, so make it a habit to look for the good in your daily life. Celebrate small victories. Appreciate simple pleasures. Notice acts of kindness, both given and received. As you do this, you'll find that your inner landscape becomes more peaceful, more joyful, and more conducive to developing deep mindfulness and intuition. Key 4. The mindfulness cycle. Now let's dive into a powerful tool that can help you put all of these ideas into practice, the mindfulness cycle. This is a simple yet profound process that can help you navigate your inner world and respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and clarity. The mindfulness cycle consists of 4 steps: notice, accept, choose, and act. Let's break these down one by one. First, notice. This is all about becoming aware of what's happening in and around you. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly you can see what's there. Maybe you notice that you're feeling anxious, or perhaps you realize that you're hungry or tired or excited about something. The key is to observe without judgment. You're not trying to change anything at this point, just to see clearly what's happening. Next comes accept. This doesn't mean you have to like everything you notice. It just means you acknowledge it without fighting against it. If you notice you're feeling anxious, for example, you might simply say to yourself, okay, anxiety is here right now. This step is crucial because it stops us from wasting energy trying to deny or change our current experience. It's like stopping the struggle against reality, which frees up your energy for more constructive uses. The third step is choose. Now that you've noticed and accepted what's happening, you have the power to decide how you want to respond. This is where your growing intuition and inner wisdom come into play. Maybe you choose to take a few deep breaths to calm your anxiety, or perhaps you decide to address the source of your worry. The important thing is that you're making a conscious choice rather than just reacting automatically. Finally, we have act. This is where you put your choice into motion. You take that deep breath, or you have that difficult conversation, or you make that change you've been considering. The action doesn't have to be big or dramatic. Sometimes the most powerful actions are small, like choosing to smile or to pause before speaking. The beauty of this cycle is that it's continuous. After you act, you notice the results of your action, accept whatever unfolds, choose your next step, and act again. It's a constant process of growth and adjustment. Let's look at an example of how this might play out in real life. Imagine you're in a meeting at work and your boss criticizes your recent project. Notice you become aware of a sinking feeling in your stomach and a tightness in your chest. You notice thoughts racing through your mind like, I'm going to get fired, or I'm not good enough. Accept. Instead of trying to push these feelings and thoughts away, you acknowledge them. Okay, I'm feeling scared and insecure right now. That's a natural reaction to criticism. Choose. You consider your options. You could defend yourself aggressively, or you could shut down and say nothing. But drawing on your inner wisdom, you choose to respond calmly and ask for specific feedback on how you can improve. Act. You take a deep breath to center yourself, then speak up. Thank you for the feedback. Could you help me understand specifically what areas need improvement? Then the cycle begins again. You notice how your boss responds, accept whatever happens next, choose your next step, and act accordingly. As you practice this cycle, it becomes more natural and automatic. You'll find yourself responding to life's challenges with more grace and wisdom. You'll be less likely to get caught in reactive patterns and more able to access your inner guidance. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. There will be times when you get caught up in old habits or react before you can go through the cycle. That's okay. When you realize this has happened, you can simply start the cycle again by noticing where you are now. This mindfulness cycle is a powerful tool for navigating your inner landscape and bringing your growing mindfulness and intuition into your everyday life. It helps bridge the gap between your inner work and your outer world, allowing you to live with greater awareness and intention. Now that we've explored the key principles and the mindfulness cycle, let's look at some practical steps you can take to start navigating your inner landscape more effectively. First, create a daily mindfulness practice. This doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even 5 minutes a day can make a big difference. Find a quiet spot where you won't be disturbed, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to your breath. This simple practice helps train your mind to be more present and aware. Next, start a journaling habit. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you gain clarity and insight. Don't worry about perfect grammar or spelling. Just let your thoughts flow onto the page. You might be surprised at what emerges. Over time, you may start to notice patterns in your thinking or behavior that you hadn't been aware of before. Another powerful practice is body scanning. This involves lying down or sitting comfortably and slowly moving your attention through different parts of your body, noticing any sensations or feelings. This helps you become more aware of the connection between your body and your emotions, which can be a valuable source of intuitive information. Try incorporating mindfulness into your everyday activities. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. When you're talking with someone, really listen without planning your response. These small acts of presence can transform ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and insight. Practice the mindfulness cycle in small ways throughout your day. Notice how you're feeling, accept it, choose how you want to respond, and then act. The more you do this, the more natural it will become. Experiment with different forms of meditation or mindfulness practices to see what resonates with you. Some people prefer guided meditations, while others enjoy silent sitting. Some find mindful movement practices like yoga or Tai Chi helpful. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, so explore and find what works best for you. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself as you develop these practices. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's perfectly normal. The key is consistency, not perfection. As you embark on this journey of inner exploration, it's natural to encounter doubts and challenges along the way. You might have days where you feel deeply connected to your inner wisdom, and other days where you feel lost or uncertain. This is all part of the process. One common challenge is the voice of your inner critic. This is the part of you that might say things like, "You're not doing this right," or "This is a waste of time." When you hear this voice, try to approach it with curiosity and compassion. Thank it for trying to protect you, but let it know that you're safe to explore your inner world. Another challenge you might face is impatience. In our fast-paced world, we're used to quick results. But developing mindfulness and intuition is more like growing a garden than building a machine. It takes time and nurturing. Celebrate small victories along the way, like noticing when you're getting stressed before it becomes overwhelming, or trusting your gut on a small decision that turns out well. You might also encounter resistance from others who don't understand what you're doing or why it's important. Remember that this journey is for you. You don't need to justify it to anyone else. At the same time, you might find it helpful to connect with like-minded people who are on similar paths. This can provide support and encouragement when things get tough. As you continue to practice mindfulness and develop your intuition, you may uncover difficult emotions or memories that you've been avoiding. This can be challenging, but it's also an opportunity for healing and growth. If you find yourself dealing with particularly difficult issues, don't hesitate to seek support from a therapist or counselor who can guide you through this process. Remember, doubts and challenges are not signs of failure. They're opportunities for growth. Each time you face a difficulty and continue on your path, you're building resilience and deepening your connection to your inner wisdom. As we wrap up this exploration of navigating your inner landscape, it's important to remember that this is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. Every day brings new opportunities to practice mindfulness, to listen to your intuition, and to align your actions with your true self. The skills and practices we've discussed, understanding your inner voice, practicing patience, focusing on the positive, using the mindfulness cycle, and implementing practical steps, are tools for your journey. Like any tools, they become more effective with practice. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. Remember, there's no perfect way to do this. Your journey is uniquely yours. What matters is that you're taking steps to know yourself better, to listen to your inner wisdom, and to live more authentically. As you continue on this path, you may find that your definition of success changes. Instead of chasing external achievements, you might start to value inner peace, authentic relationships, and a sense of purpose more highly. This shift can bring a profound sense of fulfillment and contentment. One of the beautiful aspects of this journey is that it not only benefits you, but it can also positively impact those around you. As you become more centered and true to yourself, you naturally become a more authentic, present, and compassionate person. Your relationships may deepen, and you might find yourself inspiring others to embark on their own journey of self-discovery. So, as you move forward from here, carry with you the knowledge that you have a deep well of wisdom within you. Trust in your ability to navigate your inner landscape. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and keep exploring. Your inner world is rich with insights, guidance, and potential. The more you explore it, the more treasures you'll uncover. Remember, every step you take in developing your mindfulness and intuition is valuable. Every moment of awareness, every intuitive insight, every decision made from a place of inner alignment, these are all victories to be celebrated. You're not just changing your life, you're changing the way you experience life, and that is truly transformative. So, take a deep breath, center yourself, and step forward with confidence. Your journey of inner navigation continues, and it's full of possibility. Trust yourself, trust the process, and enjoy the adventure of getting to know your true self more deeply. The wisdom you seek is already within you, waiting to be discovered. Happy exploring.